Welcome to Let's Talk Pokemon, the podcast where we talk about everything and anything Pokemon. And even though I didn't cover the Scarlet and Violet details that were sent out or that were announced at World Championships, which, by the way, was a very good championship weekend. I was watching quite a bit of the streams, Go, Unite, Sword and Shield, and the TCG. I love the way that they have, really upped the game when it comes to, broadcasting that kind of stuff. I remember back in the day, as 20 years ago, as a few years ago, though, it wasn't as exciting, but the transitions, the in-between stuff, the info, the sportscasters, whatever they're officially called, definitely good production quality and very exciting to go forward. I feel like they can only get better from here, right? They seem to be one-upping every World Championships every year. But anyway, I didn't cover any of those details. It's been a while. I've been sick. I've been busy. But this new trailer. We got a new trailer this morning. At the time of recording, this is a Wednesday, September 7th, I believe. Just a new trailer dropped, right? Because they did the day before tweet, hey, we got a new trailer dropping tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. And it wasn't a presents, it wasn't a direct, so we knew that it had to have been something very direct, right? It had to have been something more okay, we're going to show you some new gameplay features. We're going to show you a little bit more detail about the map, maybe one or two new Pokemon, and then boom, that's it. We're done until next time. And that's, for the most part, that's pretty much what they did. They showed off some new gameplay. They showed off some more parts of the map, talked a little bit more about the region. And then they did show off not just 2 new Pokemon, but 3 brand new Pokemon. So there's a lot to cover. There's a lot to unpack here. All extremely exciting. This, I don't know. I see comments on Twitter and, well, that's my first mistake. But I see comments all the time, not all the time, but just constantly saying oh, I don't know about Scarlet and Violet. It seems underwhelming, or there's not something I'm hooked on to yet. I don't know about anyone else, but it's just I'm hooked on to Scarlet and Violet. This seems like a very exciting game. Seems to be possibly better than Sword and Shield, and Sword and Shield alone was a very good game to begin with. It was solid content, great Pokemon, great battling, just everything was great. Everything was good. There was nothing really for me to even complain about. Dynamax raids were awesome. Even the Dynamax adventures, the DLC I thought was pretty solid. Maybe the second one was a little bit underwhelming compared to the first, but just overall, as a complete package now with the DLC and everything, it's a no-brainer. This has got to be, if it's not your best or your most favorite Pokemon game, I find it hard to believe that it drops anywhere beyond the top 5, right? It has to be somewhere in the top 5. That's just my opinion, but that's just how I feel about Sword and Shield. But every time I see a new trailer now, new details about Scarlet and Violet, I'm more stoked about this game, especially the fact that it's open world. And they kind of touch on that a little bit, because in the last trailer, which was about a month ago, I talked about it in my last episode, so it has definitely been at least a month ago. They talked about you have this, large areas that you can just roam around in. It's an open world RPG. You choose your own adventure. And they delved into this trailer. They delved into what those adventures are. So there is a lot to kind of cover. And I don't know exactly how I want to approach it. I think what I'm going to start off with first is the new Pokemon. So we'll talk about the 3 new Pokemon that they showed. And then we'll kind of go through the news outlets on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet website. So before actually I do all that, I have to remember to start doing this stuff, because some of you guys on Spotify, kudos to you guys. I appreciate it. This is awesome. So you guys have been interacting with the questions, interacting with the polls, and I truly appreciate it. Every little bit of engagement helps. I'm sure every YouTuber says that, but I just like it because it's cool, and I get to see opinions of other people and whatnot. And so, for example, in my last episode, which again was about over a month ago, I asked, with that trailer that they showed, which new Paldean Pokemon shown was your favorite. 80% of you voted for Paldean Wooper, and then 20% voted for Cetitan, and yet 0% for Fido, which is strange, because Fido, I think, got the most talk out of that trailer. But I guess Paldean Wooper, I don't know what the big fuss is about. I mean, it's interesting, I guess, but for me, it was my least favorite. If it was my order, which I think I already said was Cetitan, then probably Fido, and then Paldean and Wooper. Thinking back on it, did I say it the other way around? Cetitan was definitely number one, though. Cetitan definitely, like, up there. Like, that's, out of the three, definitely Cetitan was my favorite. And then I had the question posted on the Q&A of what feature or detail about Scarlet and Violet, about Paldea, really resonated with you guys. And then there was a couple answers here that I'll just kind of read off. Excited that there was still going to be raids. So we had the Terra raids confirmed. And then that, what else is here? That you get to make your own story. So the first comment was from Jay. The other one's from username CNX. Yeah, the make your own story is definitely a very, like, that is as much of an RPG. That's the point of an RPG almost, right? Like, you're role playing your character in the game. You play out this character, you make the decisions, you choose what you want to, like, equip, you choose what path you want to take. And even though all Pokemon games, even up to this point, were considered RPGs, you can almost argue that they weren't, like, true RPGs, because yes, you do play a character that you kind of go on an adventure and you choose the Pokemon you want to be with, but you didn't really choose your path, right? You always had to go through the gym leaders. You always had to do the trials. Like, you always had to do this big tournament at the end of it. You never really got to go, you know what? I don't want to battle you. Just don't. Like, I just want to, breed eggs and, just shiny hunt or do whatever, just collect things like you could, in Arceus wasn't really an option for battling. You were just like, yep, I just got to collect and observe, and that's pretty much it. So having this option of choosing your own adventure really opens it up to be a very classic, maybe that's the better term, because maybe true is not, like, being too harsh here, just like a classic RPG. So yeah, that's definitely one thing to look forward to. And then from Kythox, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, you don't need to wait for other people to move in the dens, which is great. The fact that it's, that was a very sluggish part of Dynamax. Like, did it stick out like a sore thumb? Yes. Was it something to really complain about? No, because I think we just accepted it for what it was, because it was brand new to us, and we just, took it as this is just how the mechanics work. And so we all have to take turns with our moves, and it made sense in a sort of RPG kind of way. But now with the Terra raids, like, you don't have to wait at all. You can just, I'm going to choose some random moves here. Leech Life, and then Tackle, and then Thunder Wave, or whatever order you want to play them in. But you don't have to wait for, like, Joe, Bob, and Sally to, like, wait for their attacks to be done, and then you can do yours. So, yeah, definitely cool to see that actually happen. These live, I think they was not live action, just live on, like, ongoing real time. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Real time raid battles. So yeah, thank you guys for answering that question. Much appreciated. Okay, now let's get into the new Scarlet and Violet details. I am definitely going to save the best for last. So if you are expecting me to start with Cloth, you are incorrect, sir and lady, because Cloth by far, that was the best reveal. Not the best. Number two best reveal of today. Let's talk first about these what is assumed to be, and now that I'm reading it, are definitely in fact exclusive Pokemon, exclusive to the respective games. So, for instance, let's start with, I'm gonna probably mispronounce this, Armarouge. I think that's how it works, or that's how it's pronounced, right? Armarouge. Armarouge's set of armor belonged to a distinguished warrior and is the source of the energy used for its psychic type moves. It also uses the psychic capabilities of this armor to control the fire energy within its body and unleash attacks. First and foremost, this information I'm reading from is from Pokebeach, which probably also got it from Pokemon Company. But I just want to make sure I'm clarifying here and being transparent. I am reading off of Pokebeach's link in coverage of the details, just for these Pokemon. All right, so Armarouge, Fire and Psychic, pretty cool typing. I think what's the other one that we had was Delphox Fire and Psychic, right? This one definitely looks cooler. Definitely looks more aggressive. In the trailer, it showed that he combined his arms to make like this sort of super cannon. So I have a very strong feeling it's going to have some sort of like exclusive move, or, like fire cannon, not fire blast. I don't know, pyro cannon, something like that. I'm sure it'll have something unique to it. And it's only encountered in Pokemon Scarlet. Now, the counterpart, you have Cerulege. I just say Cerulege because it's smoother. I don't know, just the way I'm always pronouncing words that end with lidge, like Cerulege, makes sense to me. But if you want to say Cerulege and enunciate that, by all means. This one's also another cool Pokemon. Cerulege dons an old set of armor steeped in grudges and wields blades made of fire and ghost energy. In battle, these blades transform into great swords to increase Cerulege's power. Cuts from these great swords leave wounds from which life energy will flow. HM1 confirmed? No? Yes? I mean, that when I see like this Pokemon can cut down stuff. Oh, okay, cool. I can teach it HM1 cut. But no, definitely don't want to waste it on this Pokemon. I love the effects to this. Like it is a ghost, fire ghost. And I love the fiery sort of, like, I don't know, like it seems more realistic, like it seems more living, the fire on this, on the parts of the blade, like the hand part of it, and then also the quote-unquote ponytail or whatever things going on in the back of its head. These are very slick Pokemon. This one is only encountered in Pokemon Violet. Now, I think it's safe to say that if these are version exclusive, right, and that they are very, very similar, they both don different types of armor, then the pre-evolution for this, you can catch it in both Scarlet and Violet, but you will only be able to evolve it into Armarouge in Scarlet and Cerulege in Pokemon Violet. I think that's a safe assumption. I mean, that's just my opinion on it. Out of the two, Cerulege definitely looks cooler to me, but it's like, that was like a difficult choice to make. It's like, no, Armarouge is pretty neat. Like Cerulege has got like these cool effects on it. Like this makes it kind of hard. Like if for whatever reason your choice, your selection of Pokemon game comes down to one of these two, like how are you gonna choose? You might as well flip a coin, because it's very difficult to choose between the two. I think personally, but if I had to, I definitely would pick Cerulege. I dig the whole ghost aspect of it. It seems like a strong attacker. You know what? Now that I just said that, Cerulege is probably and most definitely a physical attacker, and Armarouge is a special attacker. That's the way it works out in my head, just because Cerulege has blade swords. You typically think a physical attack for that one, and with Armarouge, it's a blaster cannon, so definitely special attacker, doesn't have to have any sort of physicality to it. That's what I'm narrowing it down to. Okay, now to the main Pokemon reveal, the one that really matters. And yes, I'm gonna ignore the car thing for a bit, because I guess it's been confirmed to some extent that the car that we saw in the first trailer and in today's trailer is definitely a Pokemon, even though you can be on the car and battle on the car. I don't know, like there was a promotional artwork or something that showed the car with a tongue sticking out of its engine. Someone's got to clarify that somewhere down the line, but that doesn't matter, because the only Pokemon that mattered in this trailer was none other than Cloth. Cloth can rotate their protruding eyeballs to see everything around them, eliminating all their blind spots. They can latch upside down onto cliffs to ambush their prey from above. However, they eventually get dizzy from the blood rushing to their heads, so they cannot stay upside down for very long. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's not water, even despite the fact that it's a crab. I'm sure it's like what a rock crab is a real thing. It's a rock type Pokemon, and it's got like these spiky joints on its legs and claws, and like a couple on its face, and I don't know. It's just a cool, like, it's a simple design. All right, let's not get too hasty about that. It is a very simplistic design, but I think just the way that it's drawn, the way that its mouth looks, and the fact that it's got like these rocky, pointy, jagged joints, just, I don't know. I resonate with it. I'm cool with it. I love Krabby. I love Kingler. I started recently, over the last year and a half, really dug Corefish, really dug Crawdon. Hey, I'm all for these crustaceans. Again, I don't know exactly what is it about them. Maybe because, again, I'm biased towards marine related Pokemon, just marine animals, water Pokemon, even though technically this isn't a water Pokemon, it's a rock Pokemon. But hey, it's evolution. Could be rock water for all I know. If it evolves, which in the trailer they made it seem like such a like a boss Pokemon, like not like a not like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a cool, awesome, great Pokemon. Just like it's a boss fight, kind of. At least that's the way they made it seem. Although it could just be like a quick, like, little cutscene of like your first encounter with like a giant Pokemon, because that's another part that they kind of showed or confirmed in this trailer, was that you have different sized Pokemon, and then there was like a part of the trailer where like your main character is running with all these Sunflora, and the Sunflora are different sizes, but there's also like a line of dialogue goes like, oh, no cloth has any reason to be that big, which maybe kind of hints and or confirms alpha Pokemon, right? Because that was a big hit during Arceus, and it wouldn't be a big surprise if they brought it into Scarlet and Violet. So it's one of those kind of things. We bring back different sizes of Pokemon, and or we also bring back alpha Pokemon. Either way, Cloth, I need to have this on my team. This is going with me into the championships. This is going with me into that tournament. I have to. If it evolves, even better. I can't imagine, like, what, the claws get bigger. I mean, in Krabby's case, only one claw gets bigger, but I really hope there's an evolution for this Pokemon, because this is just too good of a dopey looking Pokemon. I love it. Okay, so that was the 3 new Pokemon. Let's talk then about, gosh, do we want to do, I think the feature is probably the coolest thing they didn't really talk about in the trailer. They just kind of vaguely showed it, and then on the Scarlet and Violet website they did definitely go into detail about it. So let's talk about the different stories. So I'm gonna kind of read off some parts here on the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet website. I'm not gonna try to like read the whole thing in its entirety, at least try not to. Just kind of get the main points. And if I read really fast, I apologize. Again, I am on the Scarlet and Violet website, scarletviolet.pokemon.com. Your own story woven through your treasure hunt. The school that you've enrolled in hosts a special independent study project. The theme of this assignment is a treasure hunt. Explore the world and seek out your very own treasure. So you have 3 different stories here, which we already knew, but they specify what these are. You can go battle gyms and go into the Victory Road. You can search for rare ingredients on what's called the Path of Legends, or you can choose to go to Starfall Street, in which you'll challenge Team Star, which are a group of delinquents causing trouble for the school. I'm wondering, before we get into a little bit more details with these, I'm wondering if there's any sort of interaction, or what's the word I'm looking for? Interconnectivity, interwoven parts to these stories, right? Like, if I only do one path, do I never get any sort of hint or I guess any sort of like idea of like what's happening in the other 2 paths, right? Like, if I pick this one path, is Game Freak gonna find some way to like hint or kind of persuade me to be like, I should go check out this gym battle over here, right? I feel like that would be the move to make. Like, you want to be able to promote your game and push people to play your game as much as possible. So there should be some sort of hint or some sort of throwaway line, maybe, of like, hey, by the way, there's these other stories that you should check out. I'm more curious about that. Like, what's if there's any sort of interaction? If I do something in one story, does that also impact what happens or what I do in another part of the story and the other one that I've chosen? I don't know. There's a lot of questions still to go along with that. I don't know how in depth they really want to go with these stories. We only get the rough outline of it, the rough shell of it. So again, we'll see what happens if they give us more details, or we just wait to find out when we actually get the game. Okay, so Victory Road, your path to champion rank. There are 8 Pokemon gyms in different locations throughout Paldea, all managed by the Pokemon League. If a trainer makes their way to the gyms, defeats all the gym leaders, and then passes the champion assessment at the Pokemon League headquarters, they can earn the coveted champion rank. After accepting Nemona's suggestion to become a champion rank trainer, you too will be able to visit the 8 Pokemon gyms scattered across the region. Okay, so you have to pass a gym test, apparently, before you're able to be allowed to be challenged to gym leader, which that's kind of common play. I mean, it's been in almost every Pokemon game that does these things. Even with Trials with Sun and Moon, you always had to do some sort of quest or some sort of puzzle before you can actually challenge the gym leader. So nothing changes from that. They showed off a new character called Miss Gita, who is the chairwoman of the Pokemon League. She reigns supreme as the most skilled trainer of all. Though mild-mannered, Gita still has a commanding presence, and it's said that anyone who calls themselves a Pokemon trainer looks up to her. It appears that she's looking for exceptional young talents capable of conquering the Pokemon League. Is she the champion? Because I'm not gonna lie, just, again, this is all opinion, this is all, not heavily informed here, but just by visual aesthetics, just by first look, first impressions, not digging this one. I mean, yeah, she's cool if she's like your, not mentor, not guide, just kind of like, hey, like the guy that's always hanging out at the front of the gyms, like the guy that always hints to you, like, hey, trainer, like, Brock's Pokemon is weak against water, so always carry water, something like that guy. Like, hey, I'm cool with this one, being that character, but if it's a champion, I gotta see more and get to know the character more before I'm officially sold on it. They also showed off a gym leader called Brassius. He is a grass type trainer, and they only showed him in the trailer using Smoliv. What else is in here? Although he's got like a whip thing that's like, it's got thorns on it. Actually, I kind of dig that aesthetic now that I'm looking back on it. That was it. That's all they really showed for that storyline. So that's your typical main story, right? That's every Pokemon game. So that's not a surprise. What's going to be more surprising or more interesting is just the characters that you meet along the way in that storyline. All right, next story or next path to choose. Search for Herba Mystica on the Path of Legends. Arvin's research into healthy recipes for Pokemon has led him to seek out rare ingredients called Herba Mystica, which are said to immediately restore health once eaten. Herba Mystica are extremely rare herbs that can only be found in Paldea. They are guarded by Titan Pokemon, which are bigger and stronger than ordinary Pokemon, making these rare herbs even more difficult to obtain. What's more, a number of these Titan Pokemon have already been sighted in the region. Since Arvin isn't good at Pokemon battles, he'll be asking you to help him out and will even offer to treat you to some of his handmade dishes if the two of you succeed in obtaining these rare herbs. Drive back opponents and gather the Herba Mystica together with Arvin. So there you go. Alpha Pokemon kind of are back, but they call them Titan Pokemon, and these are what sound like essentially boss fights. But now this makes me kind of think back on Sun and Moon, because this kind of sounds like what Sun and Moon was. You do little these quests and you have to battle a totem Pokemon. So is this just like, I don't know, is this the gym leader thing again, just skinned differently, like disguised as something else? That's kind of what it seems like. And I guess it'll come down to like, how difficult are these Titan Pokemon? I mean, in this first one, and this has got to be like this is probably the first boss fight. It shows Sprigatito battling this Cloth. I'm pretty sure, like, if we're gonna remove levels here, just Cloth should definitely annihilate Sprigatito. But obviously that's not going to be the case. This is a Pokemon game, so Sprigatito's going to win. Yes, it's got type weakness. Just, I don't know. Like, are they really going to be... I don't know. I would love for it, even though this would not be reasonable, for it to be like alternate crossfit challenge, like, right? And make every Titan Pokemon really difficult. Like, you have to grind the levels and learn the moves and stuff like that. But it might just be easier than that. And it makes me kind of question, how long is this story for this one, actually? Because the way to describe it just seems pretty straightforward. And it's like, yeah, just go there, go there, go there, go there. All right, and we're done. End of story. All right, sure. I want there to be more details about this, and not. It sounds more like just like a regular side quest than it does a main quest. Speaking of main quest, here's the last one. Face off against the school's troublemakers in Starfall Street. Team Star was formed by the school's most rebellious students and is made up of several squads. Each squad is led by its own boss, each with their own base scattered across the Paldea region. These class-cutting delinquents cause trouble for all those around them, giving the academy's students and teachers a hard time by disturbing the peace and using pushy recruitment tactics. March up to their bases and face off against a troublemaking Team Star. Okay, when you go to take on each squad's base, Team Star's many grunts will send out a relentless barrage of Pokemon to get in your way. By defeating enough of the grunts' Pokemon within a given time limit, you'll be able to challenge their boss to a battle. Engage in auto battles, a convenient feature that's new to these titles, to overcome the unending barrage of Team Star's grunts and their Pokemon. Note the uniforms worn by the members of Team Star will differ depending on the version of the game you play. That's the other thing. So, can you also send out multiple Pokemon? Because they showed off, and here's a screenshot of it. Like, there was a Makuhita. So there's 3 Houndour, and there's a Makuhita who seems to be, like, doing an attack. But there's also an Oricorio that was just, like, released and is also doing an attack. So can you, like, how many of those can you do? Like, can you auto battle, like, up to, like, all 6 Pokemon out? Because that would be very cool to see. Yeah, this also... I don't know, like, this seems like a relatively short part too. For some reason, the gym leader thing seems like a more, like, whole like, more full content based path than the other two. And that's because we've only ever done the one path. So, I don't know, this one just sounds like the same thing as the Herba Mystica. They all sound the same thing. Here are these locations. Go to these locations. Beat said boss. Beat said Pokemon. Earn something. Move on to the next one. There's a culmination, like, thing at the end. Like, there's, like, a final fight or whatever at the end. I really hope the stories are fleshed out or are really, I don't know, interesting, engaging, to make me feel like these are 3 unique paths to go on. All right, take on the buses riding the Star Mobiles. Once you overcome the waves of Team Star grunts, their boss will appear in a custom car called the Starmobile. It seems that during your Pokemon battles with these bosses, the Starmobile itself will get in your way. Take down each squad's boss by defeating their party Pokemon and their Starmobiles. So it's not a Pokemon? No, it is. Wait, no, it's not. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's a Pokemon. It just seems like it's just like a legit vehicle. Again, I need clarification. There was a picture of Mila, the boss of Team Star's fire crew. Very odd design. Just the boots are really throwing me off. Like, very Harley Quinn-esque. I think just by, like, the outline style of it, but just also the boots just scream out Harley Quinn, and just has this really weird outer detail, like, it just looks like 20 times too big for this character. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are your 3 paths. The Star Team, what did they call it already? It's Team Star. So there's Starfall Street, there's Herba Mystica, and then there's your typical gym leaders. So this is gonna sound like I'm being negative about the game, which I'm really not intending to. That's not the thing. It's just these questions that I have in my head that make me reconsider, like, okay, cool, you have an open world. Awesome. You gave us 3 different paths to choose and to venture on. Great. But Oh, is anyone really gonna pick like Team Star over the other two, right? If this is a game where you can choose your own path and you don't have to go in any order and you don't have to necessarily embark on any one of the other ones, who's choosing Team Star over the gym leader? Who's choosing the Titan Pokemon over Team Star or over the gym leaders? Like, that's the thing that makes me wonder too. Is there internet connectivity with these three paths? Like, it seems obvious, go with the gym leader route. That's the typical Pokemon game. But the other two just don't seem unique enough to make me want to go, yeah, I'm going to do that. Like, if the other one was collect, I don't know, like over 100 Pokemon, and each location you go to was a new Pokemon, and maybe you had to do a weird little quest thing, like bait it somehow or like give it a gift of some kind that you have to make. That sounds like an actual main quest that's like kind of neat. Like, and you're doing like the whole Arceus thing of being a researcher, completing your Pokedex. But all of these three just sound similar, like in at its core, and not unique enough to where I'm gonna go, oh, I definitely want to finish all the Team Star missions before I beat the gym leaders. In my head right now, I'm thinking I'm just gonna beat the gym leaders, and then after I'm done with that, I'll do Urban Mystica, and then after I'm done with that, I'll do Team Star. But again, how I play probably will how I played the day of the release probably will be much different. Where I'm gonna probably try to be even across the board, be like, I'm gonna do a couple gyms, a couple missions of Team Star, a couple missions of Titan Pokemon, and just kind of work my way all three through all three of them as equally as I can. But it's just, I don't know. You're trying to gather new people by saying, here's a true open world, pick your path. But you're kind of also maybe implying, and this is solely opinion based. This is not anywhere I read or anything, but it just seems like you're implying you just go with the main story. You don't need these other two. We're just going to have these other two quests just to say that we have more quests or more paths to choose from. Again, I need more details fleshed out on the other two to really make a final call on that. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this last thing here before we start to wrap up the episode. Let's Go, a handy feature for exploring the Paldea region. Tell your Pokemon to go adventure. You can have one Pokemon out and walking with you in the Paldea region's great outdoors. When you have a Pokemon exploring with you in the field, you can use Let's Go feature to send that Pokemon off in the direction you indicate. The Pokemon you send out then independently picks up items in the area and even has auto battles with nearby Pokemon. This is very much Legends of Arceus, right? The only difference is it seems like you can't just throw random Pokemon. Like, you can't just flip through your Pokemon and just send out whoever you want. This is more of like, hey, this is my buddy. I'm going to send my buddy over there to go cut down that tree and look for berries while I'm going over here to probably pick up the item that's on the floor. So it's simplistic, but it's still just like a cool feature because we've already experienced it in Arceus to an extent, and we loved it in Arceus. So it's nice that they're bringing it back for this game. And the auto battles too, so here's the next part of it. What are auto battles? Auto battles are a new way of battling that can be activated by using the Let's Go feature. Doing so will send any Pokemon to battle wild Pokemon without needing orders from its trainer. Your Pokemon can be sent in an auto battle against any wild Pokemon you see on the field, and you can even find Pokemon to engage in auto battles on its own. When your Pokemon is out and engaging in auto battles, you can do what you want, stay by its side to watch over it, or try looking for items nearby. By defeating wild Pokemon in auto battles, your Pokemon can also earn items and experience points. Master using this new feature to explore every nook and cranny of the vast Paldea region with your Pokemon. So I do like that. I like that the easy experience part of it, right? Despite how many people hate the experience share, boo-hoo. But I like that it beats that grind, that I'm able to equally level up my Pokemon. And it's not like everyone levels up to level 20 at the exact same time. It's more of like, here's my main Pokemon level 20, here's a Pokemon at 16, here's a Pokemon at 12, here's another Pokemon at maybe 17. Like, they're kind of all over the place because I think some Pokemon have like different like experience point rates or whatever on when they evolve and stuff. So that's not a big deal at all. This is cool. I like it. I want to see more of it. I want to see more of it in action. I want it detailed. Like, all the things that they've announced in today's trailer, I really want like these little featurette videos, like these little like 2 to 3 minute videos really explaining like how this feature works. What are we doing button-wise? What can I do? What can't I do? That's what I really want to see. And we are, I mean, they kind of started ramping up, right? Because we got a trailer last week showing Grafii. We got the competitive details, a little bit about competitive during the World Championships. Like, we're kind of starting to, like, steamroll the, or start to build up the hype for Scarlet and Violet. The trailers are kind of consistently coming out now. So I'm wondering if we're going to have another one in another couple weeks. Like, will we get another trailer before the end of September? Maybe. We do have 2 months, right? At this point, like 2.5 months. October, November till the actual release of the game. So there's still a lot more to promote. Plus, they didn't do this in the trailer, and I'm a little surprised, but this was my favorite announcement of today, because this is what I was waiting for. So everyone knows the Nintendo Switch OLED, you gotta get the upgrade, but if you already got an original Switch, there's no need to get the upgrade. And I held out, I waited, I was like, I'm gonna see if there's gonna do a Pokemon one, because if they do a Pokemon one, I'm down. They showed off a Splatoon one. I'm like, okay, but that makes me worried, because we're already getting close to Scarlet and Violet. Are you gonna do a Pokemon one? And lo and behold, they did announce and reveal the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet themed Nintendo Switch OLED, which is by far, probably out of all the Pokemon design, like console design ones, this has got to be the coolest one. Just this one legitimately looks like they took time to put the design on this one. On the dock, you have the legendary Pokemon on the front, and on the Joy-Cons, you have the symbols of the schools. But on the back, you get like this sort of really cool graffiti, like glow-in-the-dark chalk style drawings of the starters, and I think a couple of other Pokemon on there, and just like these random symbols that you see in the game, and this is just such a cool looking console. I'm excited. I'm happy that they announced this custom console, because now I get to finally save up for it. I get to trade in my other console and get this particular one. And so I was just stoked. I was ecstatic when I saw that video. Like, and this was after the fact, because they didn't show it in the trailer. They had like it was Nintendo of America tweeted out, like, hey, take a peek at our new custom Switch. Boom, there it is. So I'm happy. I'm happy for this. Hopefully I can get it. What worries me is that there was no pre-orders available yet. And it almost implies that there won't be any pre-orders for it. It almost seems like you just have to show up on the day of, and hopefully you get your console. That's going to be really hard to pull off. That's going to be really tricky. I don't know if it's going to be doable, but hopefully there are going to be pre-orders. I'm going to keep hassling GameStop, be like, hey, our pre-orders open, our pre-orders open, our pre-orders open, so that way I can definitely guarantee one for me. But okay, that's it. That's everything. Oof, that again, there was a lot to talk about. We'll do the same questions as last time on Spotify. I think, of the 3 new Pokemon ever featured, which one was your favorite? And then what was like the for the question, the Q&A, what new feature, what new detail about Scarlet and Violet did you enjoy the most, or got you the most excited for the game that was announced? So, yeah. All right, here we go. Let's wrap this up finally with the way we've always been wrapping up these episodes, which of course is the Pokedex Trivia, where I read to you a Pokedex entry for a Pokemon, a random Pokemon, a mystery Pokemon that you have to guess based on the Pokedex entry that I read from. You're going to have to figure it out. Do I give hints along the way? Yeah, a couple here and there. I try not to give away the ones that would make it obvious, although I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be real with you here. None of these Pokedex entries are subtle. Like, they're pretty much flat out, hey, this is the Pokemon, and if you can't guess what this Pokemon is, you obviously have not played all the Pokemon games. So let's just go into it. Good luck, although I'm very confident most of you are going to get this right off the bat. Here we go. Here is your Pokedex entry. It can hardly lift its massive overgrown pincer. The pincer's size makes it difficult to aim properly. I did intentionally pick this one. This was not a random one. I actually picked this one up. Okay, this is a mono-type Pokemon. It has 3 different abilities. Its hidden ability is Sheer Force. Let's see here. it has it. It was a Pokemon used by Ash Ketchum. I'll throw that out there. Let's see. What else can I say? Oh, its height is 4 feet 3 inches, or 1.3 meters for the metric folk. It weighs at about 132.3 pounds, or 60 kilograms. I honestly cannot say much more about this Pokemon because you just had to have gotten it from the actual Pokedex entry. So I'm going to read it to you one last time. You should have your guess in by now. I'm even drawing out the gaps here, trying to lengthen, trying to stall here. Here's your last read of the Pokedex entry. It can hardly lift its massive overgrown pincer. The pincer's size makes it difficult to aim properly. Okay, lock in your answer. And without further ado, the reveal of this Pokemon is none other than number 99, Kingler. Because when I saw Cloth, I just automatically thought Krabby and Kingler, and just those two just make great counterparts. I don't know. I want a team of like with Satitan, with Kingler, with Crawdont, with Cloth, and who are the other two? You know what? Just for kicks and giggles, just for right now, because these are two Pokemon that came off the top of my head, Dewgong and Goldeen, or Seeking. Sorry, why not? So that's my team of 6 going into champion, maybe an alternate universe, sure. But Kingler is the Pokemon of this episode. Has a Gigantamax form, which I could have gone with the Gigantamax Pokedex entry, but I didn't want to be that guy, be like, oh, you cheated. Technically, it's not Kingler, it's Gigantamax Kingler. Because the Shield version says the bubbles it spews out are strongly alkaline. Any opponents hit by them will have their bodies quickly melted away. And that doesn't like scream out, hey, I'm Kingler. Like the large pincer that's like heavy to lift, that's Kingler. But the bubbles it spews out, not necessarily just Kingler. So I could have just gone with that. But yep. All right, let's see what trivia we have for Kingler. Now this is again coming from Bulbapedia. Kingler shares its category name with Scizor. They are both known as the pincer Pokemon, though Scizor was originally called the Scissors Pokemon. Was that actually in the game, or was that just verbally said like in the anime or something? Because I don't really remember those, like the categories that they fall under. Kingler's number in the National Pokedex and the Galar Pokedex in Sword and Shield are the same, 99. That was worth the read. Yeah, shiny is not too bad too. I think it's like a greenish color. I know the Krabby one definitely is. Kingler, I love Kingler, man. I don't know about these crustaceans, but Kingler just has like this really cool design, and the anime was awesome, right? The Krabby, after beating Executor, evolves into Kingler, and then Kingler beats Seadra. It's such a great episode. Such a great Pokemon. I love the design to it. Just the face look too, just like, I don't know, it's got like this, I don't care what you are, I'm going to take you down kind of look to it. And then when it had a Gigantamax, I was like, Santa Claus over here is rocking it. And that pincer, I don't understand how much more mutated it can get. It looks almost Resident Evil at this point. Very cool Pokemon. All right, that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah, I know it's been a month. It seems like I'm doing monthly episodes, and if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it, and I appreciate that, because there are just times when it's not that I don't want to record episodes because I just don't want to record episodes. It's just that I don't want to record episodes because I'm tired, and I'll feel like I'm forcing it out, and I never want to feel like that when it comes to this kind of stuff, when it comes to just, creating episodes and just talking about Pokemon, because, I don't want to like burn myself out, especially if I'm going to continue this for long term. I think at the pace that I'm going, I don't mind it, and no one, there's a couple of you that are wondering like, hey, when's your next episode? Or in your next episode, you're like, you should do this. And I'm like, yeah, I want to, and I do, but I just don't have the time, with my family and making sure, I have a new position at the school that I'm trying to get used to. And just, there's a lot of things going, and I know it always seems like I have an excuse, but, I appreciate you guys for not calling me out on that. Like, again, I don't want to just bring rushed work or sound like, oh, I'm tired of talking about Pokemon, which I never am. It's just I want to be in a good mindset and have like a good set time to be like, yeah, let's talk about what's happening lately. So I truly 100% appreciate all of you guys. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you. A big thank you. All right, let's see. I don't have an idea time frame as to what my next episode will be. I do know the topic. I really think this is a conversation I really want to have at some point, hopefully before the end of the year. Is there too much Pokemon? Because I am a guy who plays Pokemon Masters, who plays Pokemon Go, who plays Pokemon Unite, who plays Pokemon Sword and Shield, who plays Pokemon TCG. Like, there's just so much Pokemon. And I need to know, how do you guys do it? Do you guys just focus on one? For those of you that focus on everything, like, how do you manage that? Because I need some pro tips, guys. This is a conversation we need to have, and it will happen soon enough. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Truly appreciate it. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SpartanStrike07. If you want to write an email, suggestions, feedback, reviews, whatever it is you want to do, you can email me at SpartanStrike07@gmail.com. All that stuff will be in the show notes down below. And that wraps up this episode. Thank you once again, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time about anything and everything Pokemon.